here. This is a game that Arizona should win. I get all of it that, we're in the NCAA tournament. Anything can happen. You're a lifelong U of A fan. I am. We've seen everything. I mean, there is not a fan base in the country that takes a back seat to us for seeing everything.
Yes.
But you look at both of these teams. This is an Arizona, North Carolina, where you would look at it and say it's probably a 50-50 game, whatever. This is a game where Arizona has better players. Again, that doesn't mean you're going to win, but Arizona has the advantage here from a roster talent perspective. They just do.
Yeah, like we were talking to Ryan Hansen earlier today.
That guy.
And we were talking about, like, on paper, how many times has Arizona been the better team?
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes they have run into these fluke situations that have happened.
Right.
Triangle and 2 with Utah.
Yeah.
Like, is the first one that I always think of when it comes to a team that was clearly better than the other one.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they locked up and they couldn't figure out their way. I think Arizona, because of how good they were earlier on in the season, can avoid that because, as Tommy Lloyds said, they have seen just about everything.
Yeah.
And it felt, and Tommy said that, like, halfway through the season, it just felt like every team that they were playing, there was some new wrinkle that team was trying to throw at Arizona, and it took them a little bit to figure out.
Right.
The zone being one of the primary ones. And if you watched Arizona in the last 3 or 4 games, you can see that they've kind of started to figure out the zone, felt a little bit more comfortable with the zone. And when that happens, you don't have to hesitate as much out there on the court. You can just attack.
Yeah.
And that's what Arizona's going to have to do tomorrow. They're going to have to attack. You've got to be the physical aggressor on Clemson because Clemson is a physical team.
Yeah.
They will try to get up in your jaw and they will try to make havoc and create problems for you. That was what Chase Hunter said. That is what PJ Hall said. That's what Shefflin said. Like, they all, their goal is to make you uncomfortable. Right. Take away the things that you're good at. Arizona, on the other hand, should be doing the same thing to them.
Yeah.
PJ Hall wants to get comfortable.
Right.
Get him with the elbow in the back and make him feel you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let's go. So I'm excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited too because, again, and Jody Ayler mentioned this point, and I think it's just such a good point. I think as Arizona fans, we get into this rut where it's always, well, we always have next year. Yes, technically, we always do have next year. I'll give you the best example I can. You brought up 98 with Utah. That entire 97 year when Arizona won the national title, it was all about, let's just get to 1998 because we've got this young team. You prepare. Guess what? You won the title in 97, 98. You got humiliated in the Elite Eight. Tomorrow's promised to nobody, to use a old, biblical term. And that's exactly what this is. You have a team right now that can cut down the nets. We're not talking about next year or anything. We're talking about right now. You can't go into that with that mentality.
Well, it's like a false hope,
right?
You know, it's giving yourself an out to not feel as hurt as you normally would,
right?
Because you feel like you can, at least there's tomorrow, right? No, not in today's era with the NIL and transfers. Let's be real. Like, now, I don't expect Arizona to lose a lot of players or anything like that. Don't by any means, but like, there's always that possibility. Right. Players are, we talked about Frankie Collins at ASU today and how he's going to test the waters. It's not necessarily that Frankie Collins is going to leave ASU. It's that he's making a business decision. These kids are going to make business decisions. Right. And so that's why you don't just throw all your eggs into one basket for next year. You have the opportunity now. The opportunity is right there for you to grab. Take advantage of these opportunities and try to get a chance at a Final Four and a national championship.